You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Melissa Alexis shares how the Joplin Fire Department plans to use some newly received grant money.
Also, 2 men are arrested in connection of a body that was discovered along I-44 earlier this week.
And we've got an opportunity for some thunderstorms this weekend, maybe a stray shower storm today, and staying hot. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Friday morning, September the 20th, fall officially 2 days away.
Yes.
And I know it certainly doesn't seem like it's only 2 days away, but it is, and it will eventually feel like fall out there. But otherwise, it's been pretty darn hot, and it's going to stay that way for a little longer.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, in other news, the Joplin Fire Department receives a grant from Missouri American to make improvements and upgrade equipment.
KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more on how they plan to use the funds.
We always have something we can help.
As a fire department with a limited budget, grants can help a fire station afford updated equipment.
This allows us to expedite obtaining equipment and necessary needs to make our community safer and our job safer.
The grant is from Missouri American for $1,200, and the fire station plans to put the funding towards equipment that would make their job more efficient.
They see the need and they know budget constraints that many of us have, and it's an opportunity to grab a little bit of funds to help fund pub ed stuff and equipment that's needed for the fire department.
One of the things they plan to buy is a 3D camera. This will help them see what a building looks like before it catches fire.
Pre-fire plans, so they can go out ahead of time before the fire at big industrial complexes, set the camera up, single point in like a parking lot, and it'll shoot a 360-degree picture of that area showing fire protection, fire hydrants, hydrant connections, sprinkler connections, access doors.
These 3D cameras will also be used for scene investigations. Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, Brooks says grants like these play a big role in helping the fire department make upgrades.
Certainly, that they need those upgrades. They got to keep people safe, and upgrades like this will certainly help them keep us safe and keep themselves safe.
Absolutely.
And it's been a lot of hot out there lately. That's just the best way to describe it. And it's going to be a lot of hot today as well. Quick look outside from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. We've got a few clouds out there. Some of us are partly to even mostly cloudy this morning. Our camera 7th and range line. Again, a few of those clouds visible from that location as well. And then we'll head a little further south to the MoDOT camera at 32nd and range line. And we're looking fairly good. It's looking back to the west. It's not a bad start to the day, but very unseasonably warm. We've been almost 20 degrees above normal so far this morning. On the future track between noon and 5, mainly in the southern half of our area, maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm out there. The majority of us will simply be dry, hot, and muggy as we head through the day with better rain chances, or at least rain chances beginning to increase overnight tonight. And with that said, at this point, we have a very low tornado and hail risk. There's no area specifically highlighted, but in the far northwestern edges of our viewing area, we have a low wind risk for some damaging wind gusts. The reason it's right now just barely clipping us is storms expected late this evening off to our west they'll be losing their strength. They won't necessarily be dying out because we're going to get more rain and storms tonight, but they're going to be losing their strength as they get a little closer to the area. At least that's the expectation for us today. Sitting at 73 in Joplin right now, 71 in Pittsburgh, and again around the area above normal. The further southwest you go, the warmer it is, mid-upper 70s. Otherwise, a couple of, now we only have one upper 60 reading left. That's in Iola. The rest of us low to mid 70s. Going through today, again, partly to mostly cloudy skies between noon and 5. For some of us, an isolated shower or storm. Highs today, upper 90s, and heat index values for most of us as well, 100 to 105 degrees out there. It's still going to be hot as we head into the weekend, but then that cold front gets here. It's going to bring some more thunderstorm chances and some cooler weather. We'll go over those details with you in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right. Thanks, Chris. We'll see you soon. Well, authorities now say a body found along I-44 earlier this week is a murder case. And now investigators have arrested 2 men in connection with the crime. The body of 63-year-old Jesse Gilmore of Oklahoma was discovered in a ditch along the interstate in Jasper County late Monday afternoon. At the time, authorities were searching for a red Chevy Cobalt they now say belonged to Gilmore. Investigators say they believe Gilmore was killed at the Road Ranger gas station on South Prigmore in Joplin. Deputies say Gilmore was sitting in his car when one suspect approached and shot him in the head. The shooter then took Gilmore's car and dumped his body. The body was found along I-44 less than 2 miles from the gas station. Jasper County authorities say after dumping the body, the suspects drove Gilmore's car and another vehicle to Independence, Missouri. Monday night, the suspect driving the other vehicle was arrested for DWI. Now, on Tuesday, law enforcement in Independence responded to an attempted carjacking. In that incident, authorities say the second suspect shot a woman in the chest. At last report, she was in critical condition. Authorities say the shooter took off but was later caught by Kansas City police responding to another case about a woman who was pistol whipped. The suspects are brothers and illegal immigrants from Honduras. Investigators submitted charges of armed criminal action and first-degree murder and robbery against one brother to the Jasper County prosecutor. According to the sheriff's office, charges against the other brother are also expected to be filed in the case. Well, the party may be over for one Joplin brick and mortar business. Party City announces it's filed for bankruptcy. Yesterday morning, signage appeared in the windows advertising 25% off everything. Party City in Joplin employs 4 full-time employees and about 20 total personnel. Sources say their final day will be December 4th. Well, new industry is coming to Cherryvale, Kansas, as a grand opening took place for the Bartlett soybean processing plant yesterday. The plant has already created more than 60 new jobs for the facility alone. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly joined other state officials in acknowledging the new industry in the area. Now, the soybean plant is expected to process up to 49 million bushels of soybeans annually, creating products for foods, animal feeds, and renewable energy. Local and state officials say they believe the plant will be a positive impact economically, not only on Cherryvale and Montgomery County, but the entire state.
Whether our farmers, with their guaranteed income that they'll have for every bushel of soybeans they create, with renewable energy and the upcoming projects that we're seeing happen because of this investment, and then seeing our school districts investing in new technology and workforce, it will trickle out into our entire region and really affect the economy of all of Southeast Kansas.
Well, the plant officially started processing soybeans yesterday, which they began accepting in February. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll hear from a few students from Frontenac on this year's Festa Italiana. And later, giving care to our elderly can take a toll on your mental health. We'll have some tips to help you cope with the strain of providing care. You're watching the KOA Morning News on Fox 14. Welcome back. The Frontenac Education Foundation will be hosting its 25th Festa Italiana this Saturday. We have Ella and Alana with us this morning to share about what the fundraiser benefits towards Frontenac students. Good morning to you both. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So talk to me a little bit about, for those who might not know, about what a Festa Italiana is.
So Festa is like a community fundraiser. All the money will go to graduating seniors and for scholarships.
Absolutely. So just about the Frontenac Education Foundation, how has it helped students and have you seen the impact on students' lives?
Yes, every graduating senior gets $200 per semester for 4 years to help with scholarships, books, whatever they need. It really helps them just kind of get started for college.
And are you guys seniors?
Yes, we are seniors.
So you've received it, and are you excited to go use it for your future?
Yes, it'll be exciting to see what we can use it for.
Absolutely. So talk to me a little bit more about Festa and just kind of the events and what people can expect when they attend.
Yeah, it's a community event where everyone comes together and like all the community members make food for everybody and serves, and everyone just comes together.
Yeah, there's like a Mario Market where it's a silent auction with donated items from local businesses. There's games for little kids. There's a bunch of stuff, music.
And so this is tomorrow. When do all the festivities begin?
Oh, probably about 6 o'clock.
Dinner, yeah.
Yeah, dinner food starts at,
like the gates open at 5.
yeah.
Awesome, wonderful. Talk to me. How long have you guys been attending Festa, and what's your favorite part about the event?
We've been attending Festa since we've been able to walk. We help with it every year.
Yeah, we really like the food. That's our favorite part. There's so
Yeah.
many options. Really good food for the community members.
What's some of the best stuff in your opinion that they serve?
Probably rigatoni and a pasta. All the desserts are
Some
good
people
too.
make homemade bread, and it's really good too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds absolutely delicious. So where will this event be held?
The Raider Sports Complex in Frontenac, Kansas.
Wonderful. And if people want to find more information, where can they do so?
They have a Facebook page about that shares all the information.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. And we'll, of course, have all that information later on this morning on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Stick around. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:15 now on this Friday morning here in the 4 states, starting with a live look downtown Pittsburgh. The sun is rising. Got some clouds out there, and it is quite mild and muggy already. Another great view of that sunrise from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. Again, just a few clouds, but it looks great out there. And honestly, I mean, it is warm and muggy, but it's not as hot as it's going to be later today, so it's not too terribly bad. MoDOT camera 32nd and Rangeline, looking back to the west, also looking pretty good this morning as well. And we'll head back to Kansas with the KDOT camera 69 in Kansas Crossing, looking pretty darn good also this morning. So let's talk about what we've got going on later today. We don't have any areas highlighted for a tornado or hail risk. This is going to be for after midnight, but we could see a few stronger storms just kind of inching their way into the far northwestern edges of our viewing area. We're expecting thunderstorms out to our west. They have a low risk out to our west toward Wichita, and these storms won't be necessarily dying when they get here, but they'll be in a weakening state. They're not going to have as much instability to work by the time they get here because it'll be after midnight, but there could be a strong storm or two. Let's show you on the future track. Now, before that, between noon and 5 still looks to be the best window for a stray shower or storm. I'm going to tell you something right now. There is a little shower just outside of our viewing area. It's on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. It's probably right about here that has just flared up, and there's a few more back to our west toward Ponca City. So we'll see exactly which direction those move, but we could get a couple of showers or storms ahead of that. But between noon and 5, at least on the future track at this point, still the best window in our southern counties to see a stray shower or thunderstorm today. Most of us, though, expect it to be hot, dry, and muggy. Then later this evening, 9, couple of stray showers out there, but after midnight, that's really when we'll see a few more showers and storms. And initially, again, a couple of strong storms will be possible, but otherwise we'll be dealing with scattered showers and thunderstorms, this time mainly in the northern half of our area, and these will continue overnight and into our Saturday. But this will be similar on Sunday too, by the way. But you can see there are gaps between the activity, so it's not necessarily going to rain all day wherever you are, but you may get a storm in the morning and not see another one until another 6 hours later. By 5, we've got a few more storms developing into southwest Missouri, and then we'll see even more begin to develop across southeastern Kansas as we go late Saturday into the overnight hours. Now, again, the better chances for more organized thunderstorm activity in the northern half of our area, but isolated showers and storms outside of that will still be possible. Sunday, some of us are going to wake up. It's going to be a little loud out there as we get a thunderstorm complex that's going to roll out in the first half of our Sunday. A couple of isolated storms possible, and then later in the day Sunday, by about 2, 3 o'clock, take a look at this, more widespread shower and thunderstorm development. And the storms on Sunday do come with another risk for some strong to low-grade severe storms out there. And we'll be looking at this point again on the future track. We're looking at multiple rounds. So we get that round out of here. By 8, 9 o'clock, another round of showers and storms rolls through. And then behind that is another one. And these will continue into early Monday morning. So today, here's that low risk out there. Tomorrow, we're just looking at thunderstorm chances. We don't have any risk areas highlighted for any kind of severe weather. But by Sunday, along and north of I-44, we have that low risk where we could see some large hail and perhaps some damaging wind gusts with some of those storms. Heat advisories, Washington, Craig, Newada counties in northeastern Oklahoma through 8 o'clock tonight. Most of us, heat index values today, 100 to 105. But down there, it could be up to from 105 to 110. Already warm this morning. Most of us low mid 70s and some upper 70s have been out there as well in our southern counties. For today, highs upper 90s. On top of that, the humidity. Tomorrow, mid-90s, scattered storms. Low 90s Sunday, cold front comes in. We'll have a few lingering showers and storms Monday morning. Then we're into the mid-70s. And not too bad next week, a little more seasonable except for next Friday. A few more storm chances Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. Let's check your forecast. We are back with more right after this. Getting older is a fact of life, and while everyone's aging process is unique to them, some people may require a little more help from others when it comes to looking after themselves later in life.
While helping others can come with some positive mental health benefits, some psychologists warn of the intense impacts facing caregivers and are sharing strategies to help them cope. Fox News correspondent Chanley Painter reports.
While September marks Healthy Aging Month, a time to raise awareness about the physical and mental health of older adults, psychology experts say it should also be a time to recognize the many factors that can impact their caregivers.
There's the financial aspect of it. There's the access aspect of it in terms of even just the logistics of getting the medications, taking them to appointments.
Besides facing some monetary stresses, Dr. Anna Baker of Clemson University says caregivers can also experience mental hurdles, especially when looking after someone with dementia.
Elderly patients with dementia and other related disorders are going to have a lot of anger in the early stages because they know enough about what's going on that they know they're having some problems and they experience a lot of frustration, and oftentimes they will take that out on the people closest to them.
Dr. Baker describes the pain many caregivers can undergo as they watch a loved one endure changes to their health.
And it feels like they're not who they used to be, or they're not there anymore, even though they still physically are. So there's that mourning process. And then there's the mourning process that happens when that person actually passes away.
Because many caregivers devote much of their personal time to others, Baker urges folks to take time to indulge in self-care rituals without feeling guilty.
It's better for the patient or the child or the loved one if you do take care of yourself, because then you're better able to be what you need to be for that person.
If you're caring for someone with a chronic health condition, it can be hard to think about worst case scenarios, but Baker says you can have an easier time navigating future emotions with early planning. I'm Chanley Painter, Fox News.
It certainly can be a bit difficult
Yes.
tending to those, but you know, it's one of those things, they tended to you when you were young
Yes,
and growing up.
absolutely.
And it's kind of that full circle, but it is tough because they're
Yeah.
your parents. You spent
Right.
all your life looking up to
And
this
it's
person.
hard
They
to
were the
see.
strength, they were the fighter, they were the power, and to see them in that state does take a toll for
Well,
sure.
not only when taking care of, parents, but when you're taking care of others, it's important to remember to take care of yourself as well when you can. Well, coming up, Freeman Health System dedicates an evening to honor the nurses who help with patient care.
And we got a few clouds out there. We're looking at some isolated storm chances today and very hot temperatures. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Elise Snowy. Now, the Shoal Creek Conservation Area will host its Monarch Festival Saturday. Now, the event honors the migration of the butterfly as well as the creature's impact on the environment as a pollinator. Now, the festival will include activities for all ages.
People are just really drawn to monarch butterflies because they're big, they're stunning, and they have such an interesting life cycle. They travel so far, and that is just so impressive for this little butterfly to be able to do.
The Monarch Festival will coincide with the annual native plant sale. Well, Freeman Health System hosted its annual Nursing Gala. The event celebrates, honors, and acknowledges the work of Freeman nurses. The event also gives Freeman nurses a night to kick back and have some fun. The gala also serves as a fundraiser for the Freeman Nursing Education Fund.
Freeman just really loves to celebrate their nurses, and that it's a great place to work, and there's so many things that Freeman offers to nurses outside of the workplace.
Since 2016, Freeman has been able to award more than $200,000 in scholarships to Freeman nurses. Well, the Cherokee County, Kansas Health Department partnered with the EPA to help people screen for lead in their soil. Now, the screening took place at the Columbus Business and Health Fair. The screening was free of charge and allows people to understand what contaminants are in their soil and what they can do to reduce the health risk these contaminants create.
But then if we also see that maybe there's some levels of concern, or if you live in Cherokee County and certain Superfund areas, then we're going to suggest that our friends over here at EPA might be able to come out and formally test at your residence.
Experts say lead is their biggest concern due to its impacts on the development of young children. Now let's check in with Chris for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got a few clouds out there this morning, a mild and muggy start. And this is a live look from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Got that sun rising, folks getting a Friday underway, working for the weekend. A few clouds also from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. We'll head south to the MoDOT camera, 32nd Range Line, looking back to the west as the sun continues to rise and put it directly in drivers' faces if you're traveling to the east this morning. So just, get the sun visor out, get sunglasses ready. Now, between noon and 5 today, still looking at an opportunity in the southern half of our area for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Nothing very widespread. The majority of us are simply going to be hot and muggy at this point. And then overnight tonight, we'll see more showers and storms. And with that said, there is a low risk for maybe some damaging wind gusts in the far northwestern corners of our area. No highlighted areas for tornado or hail risk, but something that we'll keep an eye on. We're expecting some strong storms to our west, and they'll be losing their strength by the time they get here. We'll still get the rain and storms overnight. We're just not anticipating anything strong or severe with that activity tonight. All right. 73 in Joplin right now, 71 in Pittsburgh. So again, we should have been in the upper 50s overnight. We were not. We do have one upper 60. Oh, we got a few more now. Okay, Sedan, Independence, and Iola, upper 60s. The rest of us low to mid 70s this morning. And parts of northeastern Oklahoma earlier were nearly 20 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. And in fact, yesterday we broke a record high in Joplin. Made it up to 99. Previous record was 98 back just a few years ago. So that's how hot it's been. Going to be hot again today. Maybe an isolated shower or two again between noon and 5. The rest of us partly to mostly cloudy skies. Heat index values today 100 to 105 with those highs into the upper 90s. We'll also have a west wind occasionally gusting 20-25 miles an hour out there. Again, we've got more rain chances on the way, and that cold front will get here this weekend just in time for the first day of fall. We'll go over those details with you in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Now to look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Well, Shannon Becker joins us in the studio with his big 3 stories of the week. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with these big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning to you, Shannon.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the big 3 stories, what's making headlines live in local news. It was actually an interview that Elise did, one of our big stories of the week. They're taking applications now for Joplin firefighters. Their 2025 Academy. I take your little story, I put it together, I put it on the internet. They take applications for the 2025 Academy, but the neat thing is they pay you while they train you.
Yeah,
usually,
which is amazing.
Yeah, you've got to be trained and go through all that stuff and pay for it ahead of time. Well, you get paid the day you actually start that fire academy. So if you go to our website, you can find those details in our big 3 story. It's the Joplin firefighters. Pay you while they train you, the 2025 Fire Academy. Our number 2 story, Joplin News First, a tragedy earlier this week in Granby. A car, you can see at the top of the screen there, was passing a semi-tractor trailer and then hit this tractor trailer head on. It was on a hill crest. As that car kind of hit the front and the side of that semi, it punctured a fuel tank, and it spread about a quarter mile of fuel all down the road, and it all caught fire.
Oh, wow. Both vehicles?
Yes, exactly. One person did perish at the scene. Another person, we haven't had an update, rushed critical to Springfield by helicopter. More details, we'll try and update that story when we hear that information. Our number 1 story, Joplin News First. Speaking of tragedy, a tragedy that unfolded earlier in the week, and we learn now, court paperwork filed yesterday. A body was located beside I-44, where we all cross all the time near the Terra Motel. That red car actually belonged to the murder victim. They were searching for that red car. It did not strike the man. No, the man was actually shot at the Road Ranger truck stop and gas station about a mile and a half away. It was all caught on camera. 2 Honduran brothers in the country illegally conspired together to rob the man. They had ran out of money. They were going to Tulsa to buy meth.
Wow.
And they stopped in Joplin and had a plan to rob Jesse Gilmore, 63 years old. They have an autopsy scheduled in Springfield for today, but both brothers are in custody in different jurisdictions. Jasper County prosecutor should file charges on the second brother today. But that tragedy, once again, is unfolding. You can read more, KOAM News Now. And then a tragedy for party goers. Look at that. Wow. Party City. The party is over. Set to close. Our sources tell us December 4th.
Okay.
But they're not getting new stock. Sure. And they're actually not even filling the helium tank again.
Oh, wow.
So they said it might
Party's
be before.
Over, for sure.
It might be before December 4th. Their busiest time of the year is Halloween. They said, we're ready for that.
Yes.
But beyond that, who knows?
Well, some deals for Halloween then.
Yeah, it's 25% off the original price right now at Party City. You can find out more in our article, but it's not coming back here, at least. They did declare bankruptcy, and this is part of their coming out of the bankruptcy. They're closing a handful of their 850 stores. So.
All righty. Well, Shannon, thank you so much for being with us this morning. As always, happy to have you here. Stick around. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:40 about to be on this Friday morning here in the 4 states. Starting with a live look from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Got a few clouds out there. Sun, of course, is rising. Looking pretty good. The trees helping to subdue the sunshine a little, so it's a little easier to see some of those clouds out there. And from the MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, got some clouds off in the distance as well. So some partly to mostly cloudy skies, and starting to see a little more sunshine as well from the KDOT camera, 69 and Kansas Crossing. Now, after midnight tonight, we do have an opportunity for some stronger storms. We don't have any risk areas for tornado or hail highlighted, but we do have a zone where we could see some damaging wind gusts. We're expecting some strong storms out to our west, and they also have a low risk, and they should be in a weakening state by the time they get here. They won't be dying necessarily. We'll still get some rain, but they'll be in a weakening state. All right, between noon and 5 today in the southern half of our area, we may see a stray shower or thunderstorm out there. So we are talking Coffeyville, Baxter Springs, Galena, Columbus, Joplin, Monette, Mount Vernon, and points south of that. Could see a stray shower or storm. Not expecting anything strong or severe with that activity. And then later tonight, we'll start to see a few isolated storms initially, and then again late tonight, and after midnight we'll start to get a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms out there, and that's where that window for maybe a strong storm or two will be in the far northwestern edge of our area. Through Saturday, initially the north half of our area has the better opportunity to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. Then later in the day, new development expected across southwestern Missouri by the Saturday evening, and then we'll see additional development into southeastern Kansas. So we'll have some scattered showers and storms here. We got another wave of showers and storms up over here. And then as we go overnight, the better chances for organized showers and storms will be in the northern half of our area late Saturday into the first half of our Sunday. So you see, we've got those showers and storms out there continuing through Sunday, 5 o'clock in the morning. By about 10 o'clock or so, we're going to see that kind of break up a bit, maybe an isolated shower storm. Then as we hit about 2 or 3 Sunday afternoon, we'll start to see more widespread shower and thunderstorm development as that cold front rolls in. And take a look at these temperatures. You can tell where there is and where there is not a cold front, and there's that wind arrow line where you see that dividing point as that front pushes through on Sunday. As it does at this point on Future Track, at least, we're looking at the potential for multiple waves of storms. So we'll have a wave go through, have a break. By Sunday late evening, another round of showers and storms pushes through. And then as we head into early Monday morning, another round of showers and storms. And for Sunday, we do have a risk for some strong storms again across the area. Saturday, just general thunderstorms. That's what that light green is. It means storms, but nothing strong or severe expected. Then we have this low end risk, basically everybody north of I-44 for some damaging winds and maybe some hail out there as well. So we'll keep an eye on that for you as we get into Sunday. Heat advisories in the northeastern Oklahoma, Craig, Newata, Washington counties until 8 tonight. Heat index values down there 105 to 110. Everyone else, though, heat index values 104 100 to 105. Too many numbers going on this morning. Upper 60s, low 70s, mid 70s out there across the area. Still well above normal. We get through the day, partly cloudy to start, partly to mostly cloudy. Mid 70s, same by 11, but much hotter, pushing near 90. Highs today, upper 90s across the region. So again, we should be in the low 80s. That's not going to be the case. Mid 90s tomorrow, low 90s on Sunday as that front pushes through. And depending on when the front pushes through, some of you may have official highs a little cooler than that. A few lingering showers first half of our Monday, mid 70s and relatively close to average except for next Friday. We could be in the upper 80s and maybe some pop-up storms next Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is a check of your forecast. Now here's Elise with Consumer Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Nike is making changes from head to toe. The athletic brand CEO, John Donahoe, is retiring next month, and he'll be succeeded by former Nike executive Elliott Hill. Now, the announcement gave Nike stock a 9% boost. The company has been struggling recently. In recent years, it slashed the number of retailers that sold its product in the attempt to bring customers to their own channels, including online. However, sales went down, leading Nike to bring back some retailers initially cut out. The nation's key consumer protection agency takes slaps at some social media companies. The FTC says social media companies are way too lax on collecting user data and even surveilling consumers to monetize that info while failing to protect young users. Now, the FTC says companies endanger privacy and freedoms and expose them to identity theft and stalking. Congress could set new regulation limits on data protections and rights. A report finds that the U.S. has the worst health care among wealthy nations. Reginald Williams of the Commonwealth Fund says the U.S., quote, continues to lag significantly in regards to health care. The report says Americans face barriers the most in order to get the medical care they need. It suggests the U.S. could move up its ranking if health insurance coverage reduced out-of-pocket expenses and extended financial coverage to Americans who are uninsured. And that's a look at our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Well, in the little town of Arco, Minnesota, one place definitely stands out from the rest.
John Larson shares the story behind the Rock House and its scenic rock garden.
Small towns in rural America often get overlooked. As their population shrinks, their history can fade. But you could say Arco remains rock solid in western Minnesota.
We'll just look out the window and a car will just be stopped out in the road. They are just, wow, I can't believe somebody took the time to do this.
That somebody was a man named H.P. Peterson. He was a rock collector who opened a gas station in 1936. And if you're filling up with gas, you couldn't help but notice that the building was covered in pipestone, pink quartz, volcanic rock, and possibly even a dinosaur egg or two. Why do you think he did this?
I think he just enjoyed rock collecting and he didn't know what to do with the rocks.
Did you ever think you'd live in this house?
Oh, no, never a chance.
Liz and Dave Herzog have lived in the gas station turned house for the past 25 years. Dave believes it took Peterson decades to piece all of this together. He gathered millions of rocks while on family vacations in other parts of the country and then made them part of his facade.
He must have had a design in mind.
Peterson didn't stop with his house. He also built this Liberty Bell, and his son Vernon built this rock ram and the Statue of Liberty.
I watched him build the Statue of Liberty. I watched him build a goat.
Owen Bergen says at one point the Petersons had all kinds of creations on their property. Over time, they removed a stone's throw away to Anderson Park. Relocating Lady Liberty was no easy task.
It took an army to get this out of that front door.
The Herzog's patio now sits where the rock garden creations used to be. In the 40s and 50s, kids could see them while their parents filled up with gas.
The gazebo here was used as admittance. They sold you tickets, 25 cents to walk around through the garden. I mean, it was quite impressive through there.
The house is still impressive. The home like this should come with a falling rock sign.
Sometimes you're sitting out here and what do you hear?
A thunk. You'll hear. Usually it's in the winter and we're in the house because I believe the freeze thaw.
An unusual homeowner problem. Even so, the Herzogs wouldn't change a thing.
It's not just a bunch of rocks put together. There are designs on this house. And the more you look at it, the more designs you see.
Well, some of those rock stars you saw hanging in this story weigh up to 70 pounds, so the Herzogs moved them closer to the ground for safety's sake.
The Rock House is on the National Register of Historic Attractions. Wow. That certainly took a lot to put that together.
Yes.
Man, they had some time and they had a plan, like he said.
Yes,
they knew what they were doing.
Hopefully it's well insulated. It can be pretty cold up there. So
I think it'll withstand some of the Minnesota winters pretty well and some of those gusty winds, I'm sure, too. And speaking of gusty winds, we've got an opportunity for some of those today across the area. Of course, that was a momentary look at the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line. KDOT camera 69 and Kansas Crossing looking pretty good. So, boy, it's supposed to update at 8 a.m. and every so often they drop it early, and that is what they did. So as you can see, for today, we've now added a low hail risk across the northwestern portion of our area, and we've expanded that low wind risk out there for later tonight. And honestly, looking at this, I don't have the opportunity or the ability to pull it up just with a snap of my fingers, but the Skywatch Storm Tracker, we've got a shower getting ready to roll into Chautauqua County. Elk County, and we've got others out there that weren't showing up on some of the future track data, and they're still not showing up. But at least between noon and 5 by future track, we've got an opportunity for some isolated to widely scattered showers and storms in the southern half of our area, and then we'll see better chances late tonight. So after midnight, that's where that risk for strong to potentially severe thunderstorms will come from as we head after midnight tonight. And then we'll have scattered showers and storms throughout the day on our Saturday. They'll be scattered. We're not expecting severe weather on Saturday. And then as we go into Sunday, though, I've got to skip this ahead, but we'll see more showers and storms Sunday. First in the morning in the northern half, and then as the day progresses, they'll start developing more widespread as we head into the evening. And some of those could be strong, low-grade severe as well across the area with maybe some small hail and gusty winds. Well, now look at your forecast news you need to know right after this.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Investigators arrested 2 men in connection with the body found along I-44 earlier this week. The suspects are brothers and illegal immigrants from Honduras. Investigators submitted charges of first-degree murder, armed criminal action, and robbery against one brother to the Jasper County prosecutor. Charges against the other brother are also expected to be filed in the case. The Bartlett soybean processing plant held its grand opening in Cherryville, Kansas yesterday. The plant has already created more than 60 new jobs for the facility alone. Local and state officials say they believe the plant will have a positive economic impacts not only on Cherryville and Montgomery County, but the entire state. And Party City in Joplin announces it's filed for bankruptcy. Yesterday morning, signage appeared in the windows advertising 25% off everything. Party City in Joplin employs 4 full-time employees and about 20 total personnel. Sources say their final day will be December 4th.
And we've got that opportunity. Maybe some strong storms late tonight in the northwestern portions of our area, and another round of strong to low-grade severe storms Sunday. Hail and wind are the primary concern with any of those. And a quick reminder, we do have heat advisories, Craig, Nowata, and Washington counties in northeast Oklahoma until 8 this evening. Heat index values there could be 105 to 110. For the rest of us, 100 to 105. Upper 90s today, maybe a few isolated storms. Scattered storms on Saturday, still hot, still muggy. More thunderstorms Sunday, especially especially as we head into the evening. Those could continue briefly into the first half of our Monday, but look at that, mid-70s. More fall-like weather next week, a little warmer next Friday, more storm chances next Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. A lot to cover. We have big changes on the way.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Chris. One baseball fan almost made the catch of a lifetime in the Dodgers-Marlins game. A fan at Lone Depot Park just missed catching Shohei Ohtani's 50th HR ball.
That home run that gave him a 50-50 season, and he became the first player in baseball history to reach the 50-50. According to Ken Golden of Golden Auctions, estimates on Ohtani's record ball would be valued at about $250,000. So that's certainly impressive.
Would have been nice.
Just to put your glove up and catch $250,000. I mean, that's not a bad catch at all.
Not at all.
Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be watching storms through the day and, of course, into the weekend. Be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.